conference realignment, the transfer portal, and the growing financial disparity between those in the SEC and the Big Ten, and then everybody else is highlighted, especially when we look at the college baseball ranks. What is happening and what does it mean for the future between the rivalry of the Cats and the Cards? One is resurging, one is faltering. Stick with us. We'll talk about it now. What's cooking? Welcome back into ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Sofro, and of course, I'm here back once again talking to you about all things Kentucky, Louisville, not Indiana. One day I'm going to have to talk about them. I know we're probably going to have to address Indiana at some point. That probably won't be until the basketball season, given how they've done in the transfer portal. But we're talking about other portals and other teams and other things right now and other sports. So one day we'll have to put them on hold for right now. Anyway, before we do anything, do me a solid favor. Take your big old fat, grubby little greasy paw, take it out of the Cheetos or whatever you're eating right now, and go down on the screen, go find it on the little screen that you're poking on, and go hit the friggin' like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. We're going to have so much more content here on the channel, and I'm going to try to be pumping it out for you guys, exactly, just for you. I see you looking at me. I'm pumping it out for you. And hopefully we're going to have a lot more content along the way. Without any further ado, let's just kind of get into it. This is going to be a shortish video, but it's just something that I just kind of want to get off my chest and something I want to talk about. I want to put, before we really get into it, I have to say that it's obvious. I am no professional and I am no genius when it comes to college baseball. I am no savant. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on the subject at all. But I will say, as being a fan here locally in the rivalry, there is one thing that has been certain for the last part of the last 20 years, for the better part of it, the University of Louisville has been the kings when it comes to college baseball in the rivalry. But things, they do seem to be a changing, and it's something that maybe, just maybe, the guys in Lexington can be pretty happy about. And maybe some of the people down the road in the ACC need to be a little bit worried. As we get into this, we look at the last few seasons, and obviously a Kentucky team that, let's be clear, they are on a resurging season right now. Obviously, the second seeded team in the entire NCAA tournament with the second best record. They are putting together a very impressive season and could do even better things to round out the year. But you look at the University of Louisville and you look at where they're sitting, and it's anything but. You have 3 out of the last 4 years, and then it could be 5, but we're not counting. You can't count stats from the COVID season, but 3 out of the last 4 years, the University of Louisville has failed to make the NCAA tournament. The last time Louisville baseball has made the College World Series was back in 2019, and while they may not sound like a really long time, it has been when what Louisville fans have grown accustomed to under Dan McDonnell. He has been a very successful coach, and for all intents and purposes, it has felt like Louisville baseball was on a, dare I say it, collision course with a national title, winning the College World Series. And as of late, instead of being more of a win, it has become an if, and that question is if it will ever happen again. And that seat under Dan McDonnell, I'm not saying it's hot. I'm not saying he needs to go. There's no part of me that's ever going to say that about Dan McDonnell. I think Dan McDonnell is a tremendous coach, and it's only surpassed by how great he is as a human being. Personal story, personal opinion from me. I love my guy, Dan McDonnell. I will never say anything bad about Dan McDonnell. I know there's maybe some Louisville fans who are disgruntled with the way things have panned out the last few seasons. You are in every right to do that. But me personally, during my experience at the University of Louisville, as a supporter of the program and just enjoying college baseball, he has been nothing but great, and he has been competitive all the way. While I was in a fraternity, I guess we'll say that, was in a fraternity at the University of Louisville, we had a student section group called the Bullpen Boozers, and we supported the baseball team. This is back in 2008 through 2012. And during that time, Dan McDonnell not only gave back and not only cared and loved his players, his team, his family, but he also looked out for the students. He was always reaching out to the students, and he paid for multiple trips for us to go down. I remember to go to Gainesville, as well as a few other things that he always made us feel welcome and like we're part of the family, and we never even played for the damn team. And I understand this has nothing to do with the performance that you see on the actual diamond, but right now that's who he is as a person. And when you've been this successful and you've played and you've been at a program for this long, you've earned you've earned a little bit of slack there, right? But things they've been on a precipitous slide. Would you say it since then? Especially right now when you continue to look at the players that are into the transfer portal that are leaving. We had Gavin Killen, who just named either, I guess, depending when this video comes out, it was either today or it was yesterday. But you see more and more players leaving and for some reason not buying into the program. And I don't know what the situation of what's going on with Dan McDonnell and his team. I can't tell. Like I said, I'm not going to break it down and tell you that I believe we just need to get a new pitching coach in. That's what he has to do. The pitching coach is the problem. I don't know. What's obvious is they're not winning enough games and they're not making the damn NCAA tournament, and that's something that needs to change. Dan McDonnell has talked in the past, just recent years, about how he has needed and how he has wanted upgrades to his facilities, and you have to keep churning that thing up and improving it, especially when you look at the teams that you're competing against every year are those SEC teams. And those SEC teams are the ones that sometimes you're getting some good wins, but they're the ones that are taking you out of the College World Series and that are stopping those runs. It seems we're at a turning point right now when it comes to the University of Louisville and the Dan McDonnell saga. Whether that means a change in the style of his management of this team, whether it means a change in a parting of ways for him, for the University of Louisville, whatever it is, at this point, you've got to make the right decision. I don't want to see him go. I really don't want to see him go. I want to see things work out. But when you look down the road, and as we shift our eyes and shift the topic over to the University of Kentucky and the Wildcats and what they're doing, and maybe this will also speak to maybe buying in, supporting your guy, sticking by your man, because that's what the University of Kentucky did last season. While they barely went over 500, had a pretty poor season, didn't make the NCAA tournament, they stuck by their guy, Nick Mangione, when he was close to being fired. And now they are on this, I don't know if you want to call it a miraculous run, but they are on this run with the chance to make history for their program. And not only their program, but in the Bluegrass State period. To go out there and have success, to win in the College World Series, and then maybe to win the College World Series. It's all on the table for the Wildcats. And for right now, for everything I look at the table, when you look at the financials, everything that is being pumped into these programs, the amount of money that they have to just throw around in the SEC, Kentucky's got it pretty good, and they could really continue to churn this out for a few more seasons or so. Indefinitely, if they wanted. While, yes, there's going to be a lot of competition because you have a lot of great programs in the SEC, it still is a far cry from what the struggles that we're dealing with in the ACC for Louisville and everywhere else with the inept leadership of Jim Phillips and guys like that in the ACC. But right now, something needs to get going, because if not, Louisville's place in the collegiate baseball realm, especially here in the Bluegrass State, is starting to slide, and UK could be kings of just once again another sport that will get under the skin of us fans. And I'm not going to lie and say that it doesn't piss me off. It does. I don't enjoy having to hear Big Rig yell and scream about Kentucky baseball like he actually cares. Right? Like he actually cares. Something's got to be done, because right now, Kentucky baseball has their opportunity, has their chance to put it on the table. And if they come away with a College World Series win with that trophy, or with anything else, putting themselves a step ahead of where Dan McDonnell has been able to be, it's going to be difficult to battle that. Once again, anything that we've been touting for a long, long time. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'm sure this won't be something that is controversial at all. I'm sure I'm not going to get attacked by either side for my takes or my opinion on this matter. Let me know. Let me hear it in the comment section. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Smash that friggin' like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow, obviously, ESPN Louisville at all the different platforms we have. ESPN Louisville, 93.9 The Ville. You can do that at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And of course, you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter as well. See you guys next time here on ESPN Louisville Plus.